he had promised his son, he was a king, and the time had come when he had to relinquish office, so to speak, and pass on the helm. So he did so with the grace of the gurus, the great teachers and so on, to his son. But it so happened, it was unfortunate, that he had made certain promises to one of his wives. He had 3 wives. To one of his wives he made a certain promise. And she said that she would ask for those promises when the time is right. So when he was going to crown his son, king, his big son, king, she made a request that he should not occupy the throne, but he should go into banishment, and that her son would become king. He had agreed to that, and the son, with all glory, he accepted that. He did not fight back, and he did not say, "Well, Dad, what are you doing?" In order to ensure that the promise he made, his father made, he made sure he stood up to that, so that his father can walk tall. So he honored that agreement that the father had, and he went into banishment. So when he went into banishment, there was a certain discussion that took place. The guy who was entrusted to take him to the forest his name was Sumantra. He was a trusted servant of the king, a brilliant advisor, and he asked him to take his son to the forest. As a king, he did what he had to do, but then he was also a father. And because of the father status, all the emotions came up as a father. If you are the president or the prime minister of a country, regardless of who it is commits an error, you have to take the same kind of, whatever action, be it your son or whoever. And as a king, you cannot change from that. But as a father, things are different. So in the role of the father, he expressed this kind of, the sentiments that we would express. So when he went, the trusted servant of the king who took him there, he had certain instructions from the father. So we want to begin with that instruction that he gave. When he was sent into banishment, he was supposed to be the king. Having gone into banishment, everything changed completely. He was asked to live like a hermit. And because of that, he had to dress and to live the life of a hermit. So I want to begin from that point. In short, I choose that things.
Yeah.
Rama Nahava Suchi Sujana Batachira Magawa. He's saying here that having gone to the forest, he had to live the life of a hermit. So what he did, he performed his bath ceremony and so on, and he asked for some milk from the banyan tree. The milk from the banyan tree was used to tie the hair on his head. You know, it's kind of put it together, and then he ties it, as the sages do. That's how they have their hair tied. So he requested that, and Anujasa Hitasira Jata Banaye Deki Sumanta Nayana Jalachai. So he coiled his hair and matted locks in a knot. And his brother also, Lakshmanji, also did the same thing. And when this trusted servant Sumantra saw that, Tulsidas says, Deki Sumanta Nayana Jalachai. Tears streamed from his eyes when he noticed that, because he knew that these are two princes. And their lifestyle, he lived in the kingdom as advisor to the king. And he knew the kind of comforts that they enjoyed in a kingdom. And he was very close to them. And seeing that, the moment he saw them take the bath and they tied the jata, the hair on the head, the matted locks, he began to cry. Because he was moved with great emotion. These are the children who grew up under me, under special circumstances as a princes, and now they are in the forest. And this is the life they have to live. So Tulsidas tells us, Tulsidas is the writer of this Ramcharitmanas, and he is expressing through the lips of all of these the great narration. And he's saying, through Sumantra, he's speaking. Tulsidas tells